Welcome into a brand new episode of WSI TV. Enjoy the show.
Welcome and to another weekly market update after the market closed on 29th of June 2018. So here's where we look at the long-term trend as well as the short-term trend, so we're aligned with it for our short-term and long-term ventures, not just involving the stock market but everything generally. So here's a long-term chart of the S&P 500, which is the kind of benchmark index for everything really. On the bottom here you see the year over time, and each of these little up and down pegs is a week of action, and that's smoothed out for us by these moving averages here, these red line here and the blue line. The blue line is a shorter term, red line is a longer term. The main thing is if it's a bull market that it stays above it, and that's what it's been doing since the system said it's a bull market back in November 2016 and has not told me to get out yet, and so on it chugs. And nothing's really changed here. It's had a little bit of a down, but you can see when you see the big picture, you can see that if the market goes down, as long as it's above this 40-week line here, the red line, and the line is pointing up, that still really meets the criteria for a bull market, and that's what it is. It's still a bull market. Let's check in on the short term and see what it did this week. But what you can see here is some bit of rising volatility. It's kind of all over the place. What would have been a healthy situation, the one I said last weekend, was to say, look, really should sort of stay above that line now and start stepping up, but it broke that line and it was kind of all over the place. When you see these big moves like that, you know, it's up and down, couldn't make its mind up here. The close up and down, closes at the bottom of its range, up and down, closes at the top of its range, closes at the bottom of its range, up and down. That, you know, this is still around uncertainty around. Plus, there's still some people trying to sell who bought too high back here, maybe some overhead supply, that's called. And you know, rising volatility. So let's try and dig a bit deeper here. And what I'm going to do now, instead of just looking at the S&P 500, I'm going to look at all the averages, the Nasdaq, the industrial, all into one, and that's the NYA. That's the New York composite, a composite of all the averages. We can see a bit of deterioration here actually. If you're looking at the NYA, it actually closed below the 40-week average. It's done that before though, and this isn't, you know, this isn't the one I go by. As you can see, it's not as reliable as an indicator as the SPX. But you know, you can see some, you know, bad action this week on here. Let's just zoom in on the daily chart here. You can see it's bounced above and below this long-term trend before, so this isn't the first time, you know, so it's not an entirely healthy picture here, but still not. Let's try and I think what's going on here, you see the strong dollar, as I've been commenting on lately, is affecting a lot of things, but the one that's going to suffer the most there is the Dow Jones Industrials. And if we go to the Industrials Dow Jones, we will see that for the first time actually it's struggling to stay above the long-term average. This could be the, you know, the weak one, the canary in the coal mine to keep an eye on. So let's look what happens to the Dow Jones. But you know, the law is that they all have to be sort of, you know, together in the same sort of thing. So the fact that the Dow Jones isn't joining the party along with the rest, such as say the Nasdaq, which is the real superstar in everything, as you can see, it never really had a threat to its moving average. Had a nice healthy correction, had new highs recently actually. But you see, but they all have to be in sync to have a healthy situation. So still a bull market by the criteria I use, but I'm watching the Dow Jones closely now and make sure that isn't a you know, sign of weakness. So I'm going to say that you know, long term still a bull market. Short term, I think I'm going to watch this volatility closely and give this an amber light for the short term. So I will speak to you next week.
Thanks for watching the latest episode of WSI TV. Be sure to visit WSITV.com, where you can subscribe for free with no contract and gain instant access to the secrets of self-made millionaires via the WSI TV Vault. So go ahead and claim this gift for free now at WSITV.com.